So, what is a spiritual teacher, and why do they call you a spiritual teacher?
So, spirituality, first of all, if you ask for a spiritual teacher, you have to ask yourself for the question, what is spirituality? So, there's no clear definition about spirituality, but we define it in a way that your spiritual journey starts when you're asking yourself the question, who am I? Why am I here in this world? What is the purpose of my own life? Where do I go? Why my current state, the current status of my identity is the way it is? Why do I feel the way I feel? Or who's responsible for the fact that when I sleep at night that I don't fall out of the bed? Or what is this gut feeling I have? Like, where does it come from? If you're starting asking yourself these questions, we believe that your spiritual journey is starting. So we don't call ourselves spiritual teachers. This is what people they call us or called us, and we consider ourselves as a guide in this journey, through this journey. So this is it basically.
Why do you think is there a need for a spiritual teacher or a spiritual guide?
So you see, I don't say that there is a need of a spiritual teacher, but I can give you an example. Just for example, there's a mountain and you have to climb up this mountain. So you have two choices. Choice number one is you climb this mountain by yourself, and with all struggle, with all complications, with all really with danger, with all these problems, you can climb up this mountain, and maybe you will succeed, or you will get stuck, or you will get lost, or you die, but you can do it by yourself. And you have the choice, there's somebody who climbed up this mountain 100 times, up and down, and he just take you by your hand and walk you through the mountain. So that's why I think I needed a spiritual teacher, and I didn't have one spiritual teacher, I had maybe 5 or 6. So within this journey you also have to have a bit of luck and a good gut feeling to get the right spiritual teacher, because there are many weird people outside, so they can mislead you, what they did also with me, some of them. So the thing is, I think it's important to have somebody who already have this experience, and you have to consider them as a guide. You never have to make a guru out of somebody. You know, this is a person who has in a specific field more experience. Like, look, you became my yoga teacher. I never did yoga in my life. So the thing is, there's a field where a specific person is very good at it, and we have to respect that, because this person has the experience in their field, and they suffered in their field, and they gained kind of knowledge through this suffering and through discipline, through will, and we consider them as a guide. But it doesn't mean that this person is perfect in all fields. So this is what I want everybody to understand, that never make a God out of a person, because it's just a human being with a little bit more experience in one field and a very, very lack of experience, like me, with social media and computer and all this kind of stuff, because I lacked in this kind of fields, right? So that's why I never say you must have a spiritual teacher, but it's good to have one. It's good to have one. I still have 2 of my close friends are my spiritual teachers, and I had my masters. I have my master in China. If I have questions, if I get stuck in some points, I just reach out to them. So that's that.
And how did your own spiritual journey start?
My own journey.
Yes.
My spiritual journey, I was forced from life to start my spiritual journey, because my journey, I was diagnosed with the uncurable illness, multiple sclerosis, So, and I was physically in a very bad condition. So my nerve system, I was in the middle of my studies in university, and in the library, my hands started shaking, and I didn't know where it's coming from. So, long story short, I refused to go to the doctor, and it became worse and worse and worse. And then the doctors and them, they diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis. I didn't want to believe it, so I went to 3 different kind of hospitals. So I didn't even know what multiple sclerosis is. At the end of the day, they explained it to me, and my friends explained it to me. So they said basically 2 years, 3 years, you're gonna end up in a wheelchair, and then you're gonna end up dead, right? So, and I said, okay, what's the alternative for it? And they said, yeah, this kind of medicine, but these medicine have the side effects. Side effect is you lose your hair, you lose this, you cannot sleep, you lose your manpower, you know, all these beautiful things in life. So I said, okay, what for living then? If you lose all this kind of stuff, so what for? So I chose whether I die, then I die, but I will die trying, or I find a way. So with the help of my family, with the help of my father, who just motivated me and said, go in the direction of China, because the Chinese medicine is, and the Chinese way of life is more than 5,000 years old, and the school medicine is just based on profit. So they just want to make profit. They want to capture you as a slave and just make profit out of you, you know. So my Chinese master explained it very nice to me. He said, you know, in the Western medicine, they give you a pill to heal your thumb, but they poison the rest of your body. But we gonna give so much power for the rest of your body that your ill thumb is gonna get healed by the domination of this positivity inside of you. At the first, I didn't understand this, and if you talk to me about spirituality, I would kick you out of this room, because I didn't believe in this kind of stuff. I was laughing about this kind of stuff. I was joking. I was a wild kid. Even when I went to China, at the beginning of my spiritual journey, I tell you where my spiritual journey really started. My spiritual journey started. I went to my master in China. At that time, there were I had a translator in Chinese, and I went to China in Guangzhou. I found them through people who already went there. So if you search, you will find basically. And I really didn't take it serious. For me, it was a joke. I was looking at the people, what kind of stuff they did, and this visualization. Now it's full. The internet is full of it. Yeah. Back in the day, nobody talked about it, and they were laughing about this. So they told me to visualize this, to make this movement. And for me, it was just a joke. That was just a joke for me, because I was just I was thinking, what the heck? Where am I right now, right? Where am I? And what is this? What is this? And then by night, I went out of my room. I was looking for clubs in China. You know, I wanted to go clubbing. I wanted to go drinking, because I didn't want to believe that I'm right now in the circle of these people. These people were crazy people for me. I just looked around and I was just like, where the hell am I? These energy seekers, right? I was like, oh my God, this is a sick environment. So my master figured it out. So he said, look, I'll make this clear for you. He brought a wheelchair in the training room, and he said, this is your choice. The wheelchair is your choice, or you bring your full commitment inside of here, because what we teach is what we are teaching for thousands of years. And either way, you put your full commitment inside of it, or you're joking around and you're going to end up in this wheelchair. And I didn't feel good at that time physically. So really, after 17, 18 days of 8-hour, 9-hour training every day, I really felt improvement in my body. And that was the time where I said, okay, there must be something else, because I feel it. This shaking, no doctor in Germany could take it away. Every doctor I went to, they said, this is the side effect and it will improve like this, and you have to live with it. So that was the answer. You have to live with it. Yeah. But in China, it disappeared. So I asked myself, what is this? And why this happened? There, in that point of my life, my spiritual journey started. And I really understood that this is not a joke what these people do. Before, it was a joke for me. So that was the point where my spiritual journey started.